Well, it's the podcast again, and I'm all alone. No one else is here. This is Zach, by the way. Andre and Jim are not here at all. I don't know where they are, but I know that I wasn't here for podcast 10 or 11, and somehow the podcast 10 has just disappeared off the face of the earth. But I don't know how that happened at all. But I really want to talk about Donald Sterling. I know we've already talked about that, but I want to recap that a little bit. And I think we should. You know, this is really bad.
Okay. He's back from the dead, risen from the prison.
Are we allowed to talk now?
No.
Daddy said don't talk in the beginning, so I didn't talk.
Don't talk, Dad.
I thought we were just going to be your, you just keep talking by yourself and we just whisper ideas in your ear like, oh.
Or you guys are my laugh track.
Yeah, that's a good one. You'd need a laugh track.
I know, because I'm not that funny.
Everyone needs a laugh track.
Everyone needs a laugh track.
That's what I. That's what I do. That's what I do. If I was so rich, I'd just hire people to be my laugh track.
Just walk around and follow you around the mall?
Yeah.
That's like Floyd Mayweather. He has people that just follow around with him because he gives them money and buys them stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, but they're not his laugh
Can I segue
track.
into that, though?
Might as well be.
Yeah, I'm sure they laugh at his jokes.
Yeah,
I'm going to segue into that.
Oh, Floyd.
Well, Jim just died. Oh, yeah. Deep throat that.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Hello. How are you?
Hope you're enjoying your nice meal or beverage.
And hope you're not barfing after that.
Yeah, you're not gonna want to be eating during this podcast because I'm gonna be hawking lugs the whole dang time.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Freaking but yeah, Floyd Mayweather. So wait, did he win that match that they
Yeah,
had going on?
he won, and then after it, Lil Wayne was trying to fight the posse of the other boxer, so his trainers and stuff.
Wheezy.
Little Wheezy it, baby.
Wait, he started what? Gang fight?
Gang fight.
No, not a gang fight, a personal fight by Lil Wayne trying to beat up some professional fighters and stuff. Yeah,
Cash money.
He would definitely die.
Well, he probably sees that his record sales are dipping, so he's got to do something to get that up.
I know. He's got to do something.
Is Lil Wayne pretty popular right now?
I think
don't know.
when
I
he
think
comes out with his new CD, it'll probably be popular. Carter 5.
Maybe. Yeah.
Carter 5,
if it's
really?
good.
Yeah.
Please tell me there's been a Carter 1 through 4.
There
has.
How,
The Carter.
how creative of that man.
Dude, they're good.
Who does he think
They're
he is?
good.
Star Wars? Even Star Wars has subtitles.
Dude, you have to know you like a million here, a million there, a young money millionaire, tougher than Nigerian hair. Like a venereal disease, it's like a menstrual bleed. Do they
Or we're getting
do they
copyrighted.
ink in my tablet?
This is all copyrighted, by the way.
You're right. You're right. Actually, you're right. All that is just really good.
It is. It's freestyle too.
Look
Freestyle
at that. Off the top of his
Wayne.
dome.
That's one thing that I'll never truly believe.
That
What,
it's
freestyle? Oh, it's not. It's probably a
You can't say that. Like unless I see the person, even if you see the person, like they could have written it down,
rehearse it
it a bunch, and then just be like, all right, I'm just gonna freestyle all this stuff that I remembered.
There's an actual video of Drake actually freestyling, but he's holding his BlackBerry and reading it. And he called it a freestyle, and it's like funny as hell.
But people, I mean, they do that all the time. They write stuff and remember it. But I know that if you continue to practice freestyling or whatever, freestyle rapping, you get better and better. And people are real. There are people that are sick as hell
You used
at
to
it.
do freestyle battles at OU.
I used to do it good. And you know who's really freaking good? You know Sean Whalen?
Yeah.
He is insane.
Really?
I had him over to my house the other day, and I was playing. I was like, and he freestyles all the time at school in Cincinnati. And I know he told me that, or he just told me about how he's been doing it, how he's been rapping, and I was like, yeah, like you're probably all right, like you can't be that good. But I had him over to my house, and you can ask Brad. Like I had him over, I was playing these beats, and he's just flowing. Just
really,
like I was like, holy shit, people can get good at that for real.
Yeah.
Like so, I believe.
I feel like it's almost like learning a language because you have these bank of words that rhyme together, and then you just throw you just have 10 or 12 banks of words that rhyme, and then in the middle it's just like that's more of the freestyle. I feel like one of the main arts of freestyle is you're thinking of a word that rhymes with the one that you just ended your first verse with or whatever. You're thinking of how to get that next verse, but the more effort you could put into the less effort you can put into that, and the more effort you can put into the words that go in between, that's when your freestyles actually mean something. Because you can just be like,
Yeah.
that's why when someone's freestyling and every other word they say is like fuck or something like that, I'm just like, yeah,
not
okay.
that good.
So all you're doing is basically saying cat, hat, with
Fuck.
just a bunch of fucks in between.
Cat, hat, fuck, bat, rat, fuck.
Well, in like Eminem, he like changes words to rhyme with words. It's really crazy. Like he has, I think he's probably one of the best freestyle rappers, like to come out of like an era like that. Like so, he did a lot of rap battles back in the day, and then he became famous and started doing like a lot more poppy rap songs and stuff like that. But I feel like if he really wanted to, he could probably spit like a really quick rhyme. And
He could spit that.
He could spit that. Well, he does it every day. You do something every day and all the time, then you just get better and better. So
Yeah, this is a good inspirational part of the podcast for all you want to be freestyle.
All right, want to be rappers?
practice makes
Practice
perfect.
makes
But
perfect.
I think that's cool when
Or
like,
reading a
like you
dictionary. Like that's what Eminem said he did it too. He
yeah, but
focused
you
on the
could say
dictionary and
that.
stuff.
Like,
read
like
the dictionary.
even us, like if we're really good at video games, we can just be like, yeah, well, we're really good at video games because in the morning we always go back and recite all of the game systems that ever came out in order. That's what we do,
That's
and
why
that
you're
makes us
good?
better.
That's
And
why
it's
we're
like,
good at playing
really,
video games.
really. And when we sit on the toilet and we're just taking a dump, we really just twist our thumbs in circles
Oh
just to
my
get
gosh.
that rotation down, and we're like, and we call out the degrees that we're rotating them as we rotate them. And
He was saying like when he was younger, like he would just focus in on the dictionary a lot.
Hey,
I'm not
Mom,
saying,
can
like-
I buy a dictionary so I can read it?
Mom, hook me up with one of them
Dictionaries. I don't know how many
You know
times
them dicks.
I
All right,
made
maybe
that
he
joke
didn't then,
in
okay?
middle school. No, I'm not disagreeing with you that he said that. I'm just, you got to have a skeptic in the group, so that's me.
Yeah,
Everyone's
it's
a
you
skeptic.
all the time.
Well, this is
Skeptic,
amateur hour.
hashtag
We need to
Debbie Downer.
introduce this as amateur hour.
Welcome to Amateur Hour, the weekly show where we cover news stories from about a half a week ago.
A half a
and
week
you
ago.
sit through it,
And you listen for some reason.
and you're still coming back.
And
So
you're like, this is old news, but I like it.
this is old news, but
Well, old news
this
with
is
a new
Wednesday.
spin.
This is Hump Day news.
hey, as far as I'm concerned, if it wasn't for this amateur hour and me having to look up these news stories, then I wouldn't
wouldn't know
I
anything.
I wouldn't have known it.
You wouldn't know anything.
So this is for people like me who
You'd be dumb
who
as rocks.
Don't give a heck about what's going on around you.
Most people don't have time.
Most people
We're
don't
here to
have
fill you
time.
in.
We're here to fill you in.
We're gonna fill in the blanks, Mad Lib style. So it's
Mad
not gonna
Libby.
be right, but it's gonna be funny.
Yeah.
Haha.
Have you guys been playing any new games lately?
Ooh boy. Zach?
I'm waiting.
You're waiting?
Yeah, because there's some new titles coming out for PS4 and
So when you have free time and you're like, I could play video games right now, but I'm gonna wait.
I'm gonna wait for the
no,
games.
I still play Call of Duty. I'm actually gonna start recording videos and stuff and posting them on Dre's channel soon.
No.
No.
You gotta prove yourself. We're putting you through the grinder.
Oh wow.
Prove yourself.
I gotta have some. Yeah, so I might start doing that. But I play like Battlefield still and Call of Duty here and there. But I'm waiting for some new games to come out for
Yeah.
PS4 to really start.
Like the
diving
next
back
Call of
into
Duty?
it. No, not the next Call of Duty.
Good.
It's November. I'm not waiting for that.
The next Fall of Cutie.
Fall of Cutie.
Next
Next
Fall
Fall
of
of
Cutie.
Cutie.
Fall of Cutie.
Hello
4.
Kitty 4.
Yeah. Advanced Warfare.
Wow.
Split those legs.
What have you been up to, Jimbo?
You know, I haven't been up to a ton much, but I did get to play a game that you downloaded on the Xbox, which was Trials
Fusion.
Fusion.
Oh, what's that? I've never heard of it.
It's like one of those, you know, whenever you've been on like freearcade.com or one of those little game websites where you play the flash games where you play the motorcycle and you have to get over that certain terrain through the levels.
It's basically like a 2D, and you control the acceleration and then how you lean back or forth.
My friend actually has a website he runs. It's called gamesbutler.com. So I'll throw it out there. Plug. Innocent plug.
It's a game like that though.
Yeah.
But it's like 3D and it's real crazy. It's a fun ass game though. That was a pretty bad.
I'm gonna
saw you
have to
playing that
check
at
it out
first.
then.
Oh yeah, you'll have to check it out. I saw you playing that at first, and it was like I was like,
This is kind of cheeseball. Then you
this
play
is
it and you're
exactly
like, oh, this is fun.
that. Yeah, exactly. But it's pretty sick.
Well, it's more of like, especially in the early levels, it's more of like, holy crap, because you're like jumping off these insane mountains over windmills.
Is it like
and
flat?
everything.
Is it more flat or is it like
Oh
actually
no,
like
it's totally like 3D. It's
3D.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
really?
got the graphics.
You're going
on.
like you're falling like 50 feet, doing like quadruple backflips and busting nuts in the air.
Well, they came.
do your like legs and stuff fall off when you like wreck?
No,
No, they don't fall off.
But they do have a nice ragdoll effect to the guy.
Oh,
where,
really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
You just kind of go flying. But
Just go flying.
they had another Trials Trials. I don't know what it was called.
Is this free? Is this a free download?
No, it's $20.
Oh, okay.
I think there's one. I think there's a Trials app that's like the same thing.
Yeah, well, they did
I
that.
had it.
It's from Red Links, the same guys who made the Trials game for Xbox. But they did that as kind of like a teaser and kind of like a
Trials Frontier. I have an app on my
Trials
phone.
Frontier. Yeah,
Cool.
yeah. The Trials Frontier is more. It's a free to play, but it's more of like the energy system where you have to play so much and then let the energy recharge. And stuff.
Oh, okay.
It's their fuel tanks or whatever. But
Yeah.
I played it a little bit. But then I was just like, all right, well, that got me thinking about the new Trials game, so I'm just gonna wait for that because it's gonna be like there's only so much. At the end of the day, there's only so much you could do on an iPad as far as gaming. Even though that's not to say that I just go on whimsy streaks.
Oh yeah.
I think it's like Thursday or Friday when all the new
Apps come out.
Apps come
App
out.
games,
Yeah.
Dude, I do have a game that I played though. That soccer car game on your iPad. I was
Oh,
playing with like
yeah.
Kevin and
the
Jim.
Soccer car. What's that game
that
called?
that is actually a free to play one.
It's Subaru. Subaru made the game, I think.
It's called Soccer Rally 2.
Yeah, so like has Subaru cars and stuff in it. So
And
obviously,
you
I don't
run-
think
you
so.
take the-
no, I
Subaru-
swear it's a
really?
WRX. Yeah,
Yeah, but I don't think Subaru made the
STI.
game.
No, I bet you they probably put money in it for promotional purposes.
promotional.
Possibly.
But it's like a game where you take you take two cars versus each other, and
There's a soccer ball in the middle. Yeah,
And you try and run into the ball. And
Basically,
make
it's
a
a
goal.
two-player game. Each person holds on to one side of the screen.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's what's pretty cool about it.
Oh, that other game I played was dang, you had me play it. It was a short game on your iPad.
Oh,
What's
the
that
one you
game
have to like
called?
jump around and stuff and shake around that game. What was that game?
Was it that game?
You talking about King of the Opera?
No, not King of the Opera. The one with the little blocks, the little black box, and it's like, is this a game?
Oh,
Is this a
sometimes
game?
you die.
Sometimes you die.
That's
Holy
a good one.
shit.
That's a game that you really can't talk about too much without giving a lot away.
Oh, is it
Yeah.
supposed to be like a surprise?
Well, it's just a cool game. It kind of reminds you
It's
of
a story.
Portal,
Yeah.
where there's a narrator and stuff.
cool.
But
Is
like,
it better with? Do you guys play with headphones? Or do you have the speakers on?
I mean, I think a lot of those games, especially when this one's more story driven, it's always better. It would probably be ideal in like a dark room by yourself with headphones on, just to completely immerse yourself into it. But
Yeah.
I mean, I
Is
played
it a scary game?
No.
Oh, okay.
It was a cool game. It took. I got through the whole game in like 15 minutes.
Yeah, I was able to just sit
That's
down
not
and
bad.
watch him play.
Yeah, but it was sweet. Like it was a cool game. When you get to the end, you're like, oh, that was sick.
Yeah.
That's cool. Well, so what was that game that you were playing? You and Kevin were playing.
Bonsai Slice.
That-
Man, this is
Bonsai
this
Just
is,
watching
this is
you.
the speed
We're
hour.
just-
We're just naming off all the apps that
All
we've
these
played.
apps that we're playing.
It's the App Store hourly.
Another shameless plug.
App Store hourly.
I know
Pay us,
that
App Store.
doesn't make too much sense, but we'll run with it.
The App Store is paying us to plug them.
Yeah.
Plug them. We're plugging and playing them.
Another cool game. If you ever, I know you kiddies out there are trying to take some shrooms. So if you ever
What?
want to take some shrooms and play a game, it would be Botanicula.
Botanicula.
It's like
Tell me more.
it's a game that came out on Steam. I think it was released for PC.
Oh, I couldn't take it. I couldn't.
It's
freaking
it's a
take-
point and click adventure game. So if that's your style, I think those games, if any games, transfer 100% over to a tablet. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's all point and click. So it's like an adventure, and you have like these 5 little seed plant things, and you follow them around. And you played it a little bit. Morgan and I sat down and played it because I always try and get her into games. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just like, one of these days I'm gonna find you a goddamn game that you're gonna love, and she's just like, she just hates them all. She actually did play Trials a lot, and she loved it.
Yeah.
She I went upstairs to get ready because we were gonna go out to dinner, and I was just like, here, just play this game. And she was just, I heard her downstairs. She was screaming like, woo! Like she was cracking me up because she was just like, it was like if you could just imagine her actually on the motorcycle, like just making all those noises. It was hilarious. She made me come down and watch the replay.
Look at this one.
She's like, you got to see this. She was just like stuttering along.
Oh jeez.
But no, she did pretty good.
Yeah,
That's cool.
that game is funny. It's a pretty easy game, so anybody can pretty much be entertained by that game.
Yeah, yeah. But Botanicula.
Botanicula.
I think it has more to offer. Morgan and I played through a little bit more, and the farther you get into it, you're just like, you feel like you're on acid already.
Yeah.
And you're like, I wonder if I was really on acid, it would either make it 10 times worse or it would just seem normal. It's one of those.
Oh
it's
my
one or the
god,
other.
that sounds
But
insane.
it's I don't know. It's maybe I'm hyping it up too much, but if you when you go
Is it
into
just
it
for
being
iPad?
like, I think it's also for Steam or at least PC because I know it's been a port, so it's like a port of another game.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
it was $5, so But so
Is
was
it well worth the $5?
If you have acid to play with it.
if you
You drop an acid, then
if it
play.
come with its own tab of acid, then I think
Yeah.
it'd be good.
I played it for like 5 minutes and I was like, all right, I can't stand this game.
This game
No,
is
that would
insane.
That would be another game where it was like it'd be like a Sunday and you just be like, you know what? I just feel like getting into a story. And then
Yeah.
there's no words in it, but it does tell a story. So
Oh,
it's
okay.
pretty cool.
I think it was just. I mean, it's definitely for a certain type of gamer.
Yeah,
It wasn't for me. It's not
People on
fast
acid.
enough for me. I don't think.
No, I think there are gamers like the point and click adventure type, kind of like Mechanarium or something like that.
Whoa, that sounds
There was
insane.
another game like that where it's just kind of point and click.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure. I probably butchered that name, but you know what you'll know what I'm talking about.
I
if
don't
you
know
play the
what I'm
game.
talking about.
It's
what I'm
pretty similar to that. So
Well, some other related news with games. Candy Crush has declined in sales on mobile devices.
Oh,
Thank God.
you know
Thank
why?
the Lord.
You know why? It's because Hearthstone's coming in there.
Yeah.
Hearthstone
and
just-
Candy Crush is pretty damn old. It's
Yeah.
it's like the oldest game in the world. Candy Crush.
The oldest game in the world.
It's the oldest game in the world.
You sound like you have a vendetta with it. Like you like spent a lot of money on Candy Crush.
Yeah, I hit the
I
buy
got-
button accidentally.
I gotta get those jewels.
More caramels.
I
more
honestly,
caramels.
honestly don't
More
even-
caramels? I've never played this game in my entire life.
I have no idea. I was
And people are just
Wait,
obsessed with
wait,
it.
none of us have played it.
No, I've played it.
You just said you didn't.
no.
You're
I
in
did.
denial.
I did have play it.
Yeah.
I did have to play the game.
No, it's like a Bejeweled game. It's nothing to shake a stick at, really. You know?
So
Well, it
what-
was,
why is
though.
it catching on so fast?
I,
then?
it's just a really easy.
Why
game
did
to
it catch
play,
on so
I think,
fast?
And everybody knows how to play Bejeweled, so you can play it, and it was a free game, and somehow it just caught on, and it was colorful, and it had cool sounds, so people liked it.
so
It's just like a poop game, basically.
It's a poop game.
do you
You're just
think
taking a poop.
it'll be like that? Like, because when Bejeweled first came out, it was pretty big.
Yeah.
Because that was back when AOL was a thing. Like, PopCap Games or whatever.
Yeah.
They had their game marketplace, like a wannabe Steam before Steam was a thing, and
Wanna be
you
Steam?
could just go. Like I just remember going on and being like, "Oh, what free demos can I download?" And then I just go download all those games and play all of them for like 5 or 10 minutes. And
Yeah.
obviously, I didn't have a credit card, so I was like, next,
Yeah, but
next demo."
The crazy thing about Candy Crush that I've heard is that like a button pops up. If you want to have more lives, pay for it, and then like that's how they like.
That's it. Well, that's with all
Well, you
these app
figure
games.
you get that, and you give it to your kid, and they're playing.
I
it,
know.
and they have mommy and daddy's credit card on there.
Well, that was a big thing with that. I think it was Apple that was refunding.
This lady, I remember this whole thing about the internet. Like this lady came on, and she's like, "My son."
Zach, this just in. Zach remembers the whole thing about the internet.
The whole thing about
The
the
whole-
internet.
no.
I know everything about the internet.
So that was I think that was a big thing with Apple where they were refunding a lot of people in-app purchases that didn't know they were kids were just making these in-app purchases.
But don't you have to? I know I have to type in my password at least initially. Like sometimes, like I said on Thursday or Friday, whenever I buy my apps, like I'll just buy like a Jesus.
Wow, what was
Had a
that?
mini seizure there. I'll just buy like a couple new apps, and I'll have to put in my password the first time,
Yeah.
even if it's a free one and I'm just downloading it. I'll have to put in my password the first time, and then as long as I'm on a steady stream of like either buying or downloading the free ones, like it won't ask me for my password. But if I have a break in there,
Yeah.
then I have to retype in my password. So
mine asks me every time. I feel like.
Well,
I don't know. Have you ever like done it twice in a row? Like
yeah, it
back
doesn't
to
ask you
back?
again.
Maybe not. Maybe
Because I think
have.
Apple implemented that probably after that fiasco with like that. So like,
But
in
I
games.
but like any kid can get the password to whatever the app store thing is because they're like, I'm just downloading free app. You still have to type in the password, download free app. So there's like, mommy, daddy, what's the password? And then whenever they're in the game,
True.
What's the
But
password? I got it.
that kind of debunks what I was thinking was happening is these kids would just click through like it was nothing, like they didn't even read it. Like, oh, you're about to spend $4.99 to get an extra
yeah.
life or
And that
something.
may
Like
have
oh
that.
my God,
Yeah.
$5 for one life.
Hey, when when that's
What a
your target
steal.
market, you might as well.
What a
you
steal.
Never know.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. What about Candy Crush? They're dead. They're dying now.
Candy Crush
Yeah,
is
they're dying
out.
in mobile
Yeah.
sales.
Well, they need to learn what free to play games should be like. Hearthstone.
Hearthstone.
If Hearthstone was a girl,
Case in
I'd
point.
marry it.
Yeah,
I mean, I
Oh,
think
well.
it's safe to say.
But it may be an ogre girl.
Ooh, an ogre girl. That's all right.
Hello.
As long as she's not a raging
Das
Morgan in bed.
Dingo.
Nerd jokes. Okay, so speaking of Hearthstone,
Oh God. What is it?
did you guys ever play the game Shaq Fu?
No.
Is it made by Shaquille O'Neal?
Yes.
Oh, it is.
You never played the game Shaq Fu?
I never played it.
Shaq Fu.
For Sega
Is he
Genesis
like
and
is he
Super
like a
Nintendo?
ninja or something?
No, it was like for Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo, and it was like a Mortal Kombat mixed with like
Oh, okay.
NBA
okay. So
players?
it's like Kung Fu, Shaq Fu.
it's like Mortal Kombat, but you could play as Shaq and you would like.
Oh
fight
my
as- you
God.
never played that?
No.
I never played
Oh wow,
it.
well,
Is
this
it-
story is completely pointless to you, but they're coming out with a sequel now.
Holy
wow.
shit!
So it hasn't been a thing since Sega Genesis.
That dude needs
and-
money,
and Super
apparently.
Nintendo, but no, apparently they had like a Kickstarter type thing.
Oh really?
Like
Let's
a
bring it back.
fundraiser. It was like $450,000, I think, was the benchmark that they set, and then
They probably went over that.
just recently, it was like 470,000 or so.
470 to make the game.
450 was their benchmark that they wanted in order to
produce the game.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
to go through with it, and then they exceeded that. So, but yeah, I saw some
It's to me
screenshots,
like a
or
Mortal
I saw
Kombat.
a little bit of gameplay clips from it. I don't know if it's
So what kind of game is it going to be? Is it going to be for like the iPad or?
no, it's coming to consoles.
Holy
Consoles.
shit!
Yeah, it's gonna be
Next game I'm
it's
buying.
Gonna be, it's gonna be one of those games where I think a lot of the people, if you played Shaq Fu, the original as a kid, I think you owe it to that game. But also, it brings up the same chord as the Duke Nukem, the newest Duke Nukem, where it was
Right.
like, God, Duke Nukem was so sweet, and then everyone
Yeah.
bought the new Duke Nukem.
Oh
and they're
god,
like,
This is stupid.
that was the
it's dumb.
dumbest game. I remember
I
you
mean-
could grab a turd out of the toilet and throw it against the wall.
yeah, but that was it took what old Duke Nukem did. Like old Duke Nukem was kind of like that.
It
in
was like
sense,
a shocker.
but it was subtle about it, and it was just like, yeah, we're a shocker, so what? Get over it. And the
Yeah.
new Duke Nukem was like, this is all we are. We're a shocker game. Here's
Yeah.
a turd. Throw it at the wall, and it's
So
like
it's-
write your name with the turd on the whiteboard, and you're just like
On the
all right,
whiteboard, in an office setting.
Write
Right,
your name
grab
with a
this
turd.
turd
No,
and write on the
you could
whiteboard.
do that.
On the mirror, yeah. In the bathroom.
Yeah,
There's a
maybe-
whiteboard in the bathroom.
No, there was a whiteboard. Maybe it was a marker that you could
Oh.
like. I just obviously look who didn't
Turd
draw a
marker.
penis on the whiteboard.
Yeah.
yeah.
But that's just like you're playing Duke Nukem. Duke Nukem, I bought that game when it first came out. I think it was like $50.
The
And-
newest one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God,
Which
did you
was,
get your money back?
I think
No.
I think I bought it too. Actually.
Yeah,
I rented
I played through
I
it.
was the only smart person.
No, I played through it, and it would have been fine for like a $20 game.
Yeah.
Like if I spent $20 on that game, I'd have been like, all right, I got what I paid for.
Yeah.
But when you pay full retail price for a game like that, and it's just like, I mean, I guess a lot of production value went into it, but it was just like,
there was no innovation. there was
yeah,
like
and the
little
guy-
puzzles and
Well, I-
shit, and you were like,
didn't it-
"This is." I was pissed off.
I thought they
Yeah.
paused the development on it for a little bit, and then they brought
did.
it
Oh,
back.
was forever.
And they
Yeah.
paused it again, and
It
they
was
brought
a
it back
forever
again. So
delay.
like it went through so many different developers. So that's probably why it was like a
yeah.
little.
Well,
cheesy.
You know, for a long time, you just think, is it even going to be finished?
Finished,
And
yeah.
then they're just like, oh, yeah.
Oh, it's done.
That I mean, that's really funny how that Shaq Fu game though is like $450,000 is what it's going to cost to make Shaq Fu. Like that new Destiny game,
Mhm.
I heard
Like
Activision-
400 million, 500 million.
500 million for that new Destiny game. How
Yeah.
insane is that? That's like
Yeah.
a movie, like a feature length film.
Well, they're saying this is going to be what Halo was for Xbox for PS4.
Yeah, well, every
Yeah.
game that comes out.
Well,
it
and that's
says
what they're banking
This
on
is
with
what it's
spending
gonna
that much
be.
money. So
Yeah.
like,
well, yeah, no, I think that if it has, I mean, when you spend that much money, you're expecting to make a little bit of long tail money with the game, which
Yeah.
is it's supposed to be more of like an MMO type
Mhm.
setting, which is a first person shooter MMO is something that we really haven't seen. Period. I want to say.
yeah, I don't-
There was a little bit with like Planet Side and stuff like that, but for the most part, it's like MMOs tend to think of WoW types where it's
Yeah.
just like third person on the computer. So it's not only first person, but it's also on console.
right.
I mean, it's gonna be a coin flip.
It's
either
gonna be a new-
do really great or it's gonna
Yeah.
fall flat on its face.
I don't know.
Yeah.
From what people were saying, developers and everything, it looks really like sweet. Like it's gonna be something that's gonna bring MMOs and first person shooters together. Like they're gonna start-
together for the first time, it's going to bring us
Well, not
all
for the
together.
first time,
but
like,
yeah,
it's just
even,
gonna-
even that you can have the greatest game in the world, and if on launch day your servers are screwed,
Yeah, you lose
that's
like
it.
you lose
and
like a
then
shitload of people.
even think about Grand Theft Auto 5. Like if you get a bunch of hackers in there, Grand
think
Theft
about
Auto
it's
5
like Call of
online
Duty.
is not fun. I mean, they're just getting ready to launch another DLC, another DLC that adds like cars and stuff. But who's playing Grand Theft Auto 5 online anymore? Because you play it like I played it online. Did you play it at all, Zach?
No, I didn't play it at
Yeah,
all.
like,
I heard that you said that you went into a garage and you gave me like $1 million or something like that.
There was just this bug where you could just keep selling like this crazy motorcycle for more and more money, and I was just like, I actually did it. I was sitting there, I was like, yeah, this just actually just ruined the game for me. So I was like, screw this, because you have to do it because everyone else is driving around in tanks, and you're like, I want a tank. I don't want to just keep getting blown up. So I'm gonna waste 3 hours of my life driving in and out of this garage, pausing it, quitting the game, restarting it.
And the tank is the maximum you can get. So once you're at the maximum, you're gonna burn out pretty quick.
The tank is supposed to be something that you work like months, if not years, towards.
Yeah,
like that's something that you just can't have those kind of game breaking bugs in it, because then it's screwed. So I'm not saying that, and and even then, it's like Destiny has to get a lot of things right. They're an online MMO that's trying to do something radically different. So if they can execute that right and have everything else going for them, then as long as they have a smooth launch, I mean, I agree. It's just completely up in the air, and I think it's so funny when people say that, like,
it's just like Call of Duty, though. If you think about it, people always hack the hell out of that game for no reason.
Yeah, but they hack it out of in later versions. I mean, besides Modern Warfare 2, where it was like the care package glitch and stuff like that.
The recent one that just came out, like they started hacking it right, like maybe like a couple months into the game, and there was no patches for it. The people were having like all the perks and everything, and ghillie suits and just
well, that's also a Call of Duty game. I mean, there's a difference between like games like that and games like, I don't know, I just Blizzard games in general. I mean, they have maintenance on their scheduled maintenance every Tuesday.
I feel like Bungie's going to be the same
way.
Way. Bungie's not going to let anything like that happen.
Yeah, well, I mean, has there been that many game breaking hacks and stuff with Halo?
I've never seen anything.
No,
like
I don't
that.
think so. Halo. I mean, well, yeah, there was in I forget which Halo it was. It might have been in Halo 2 or 3 though, where people just destroyed online multiplayer at one point.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
and that was like while that was the newest game.
No, but it was
later
that's the
on.
Thing. It was later on.
That's the thing, and it's like, even if you as Bungie you find out about that, it's just like, first of all, you have the newest game to keep up and running. You have to make sure all that's running smoothly. Yeah. Then you have the next game that you're building.
Yeah.
So it's just like, at that point, it's like when I get on Modern Warfare 2 for PC and it's hacked to hell, it's just like, yeah, and it's always going to be this way, because Infinity Ward doesn't give a shit about that game anymore. They're like, you know what? The faster people stop playing it, the faster we can take the servers down and save a lot of money. Like, they're just like, you buy games like Call of Duty and games like Battlefield, and you expect to play them only until the next one comes out.
Yeah.
And then it's a ghost town after that.
Yeah.
So,
but I don't know. I can't think of a game where it didn't come out and had problems in the beginning right away. You know what I'm saying? With the servers and stuff. I feel like even Halo was like, as soon as you got the game on the first day, you went home to play it online. It was like, boom, can't even get into a game.
Well, that's a big thing, though, is because as a company, if you look at it from their perspective, it's like, okay, we know how many people pre-ordered the game, and we know how many people are going to be playing this on launch day. But do we want to have that many servers to hold that many people?
Yeah.
No, it's not even already. It's just because launch day, everyone's going to be playing it. Even maybe launch week, everyone's going to be playing it. But then they'll start to like come in and out. Like, people will be playing it while some people aren't, and then some people are while the other people aren't. And it's like, then you only need maybe like 3/4 of the servers.
Yeah.
Well, and then that'll switch the servers over to other games, though.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about servers that much. I don't know if it's that easy to just be like, oh yeah, we're switching these over.
It doesn't. It's not that easy. But it takes some time to switch a server over. But
yeah. Yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, I think it comes down to that. It's just like, it's on release date, and maybe on release date of like DLCs and stuff. That's when, double XP weekends or something that. That's when you're gonna have your most traffic. But even then, it's just like, you're definitely gonna peak when the game first comes out.
Yeah.
Like, that's just
that makes sense.
So maybe that's a part of the reason the cost of the game too. They have to fund and gain servers and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, that for sure goes into it.
I wonder if midnight releases are like part of that, where they're like, let's have a midnight release. So all these people, like, not everybody's going to go get on a midnight release, but the people that do are going to go home and jump on, and they won't be online probably tomorrow when all these other people get the game. I don't know if midnight releases are a strategy.
No, midnight releases. I mean, I've had problems with midnight releases with Call of Duty.
All like the matchmaking system.
Even Diablo 3 we did, Matt, the twins and I, a bunch of us, we did the midnight release for that, and we couldn't get on until 4:00.
Yeah.
And so it's just a problem that's going to happen regardless of, I think, what time you release it. Even if you stagger the release between like time zones or between countries or regions or whatever, like
Yeah.
You're still getting a massive server hit no matter what.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy. So, I don't know. I think servers are a really tricky thing to balance, but I think if you get it right and you don't give them any reason to blame you for like lag or just not being able to connect or not being able to join or the servers being full, like if you take all that out of the equation and you have a solid game with good fundamentals and just like new and creative stuff, like I don't know how much longer we can keep going with this whole, like, even the RPG thing where it's just like you level up, you find this new sword loot and you equip that and then you battle again. It's like, I love those type of games like Skyrim and stuff like that, Fallout, but it's just like, I don't know if I can keep loving that for the rest of my life. Like, I don't know if that's
formula over and over with just a different
it's
colors
got it.
on it.
Yeah, you got to give me something. Even though I love that, I love like being able to go out and explore and level up and everything. It's just like, it almost seems like that's my favorite formula, but even that formula is getting old. Like someone needs to create something to be like, yeah, all right, that's exactly what I want to do. And maybe it's Oculus Rift. Maybe it's like just being able to completely put yourself in there. It's like
immerse yourself in the game.
Yeah, you played RPGs before, but now you're really in the RPG. Like I even saw this setup where this guy was like, he was like laying on his stomach with his arms out, like on this chair, like up in the air, and then he had a fan blowing at his face, and it was for like this bird flying simulator, and he had the Oculus Rift on.
Oh
and it's
my
just
God.
like, that is a crazy setup, but I could totally see myself doing that.
Oh,
like,
you'd be flying all damn day, dude.
Yeah, you'd be like going to Walmart and all right, well, let's first head back to the game section and see what simulator we're gonna get, and then we're gonna get the setup from everything else. Like we'll need a chair, a fan. They also had like a scent maker or something like that. That was like putting the scents out
like
there.
air.
But you're just like, that's what you're thinking. You're just like, once you have the Oculus Rift, you're like, all right, I have vision 100% down. It's like, now I need touch and smell.
Taste.
I want to be able to taste the.
Taste
If
the
I'm
air.
flying in front of another bird and he poops in my mouth, I want to taste
that shit. Give me that shit in my mouth.
Let's lick it.
Like another remake of a game that we were talking about, like you talk about Shaq's game or whatever. Wolfenstein's coming out, the New Order.
They came out with a remake of Wolfenstein a while ago, and it wasn't that great.
Well, so I don't know. This one looks pretty sweet, but
Did you play it?
it's coming out May 20th.
The other one looked pretty sweet.
Did you play the old one?
The old one for like PC.
Yeah.
I played that one.
Oh, well, the old
one. Yeah.
Did you play the newer one though?
No.
I don't know. There needs to be a lot more to it. It's single player only, right?
Yeah, it's a first person shooter. I think there's some online capability to it. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, there just needs to be a lot there. It's just like you can build a
it's just more story
game
based.
like that. Yeah, but you can build that with a perfect story that is most likely going to be pretty predictable. And even if it's not, it's still, games are getting to the point where
they're redundant.
They need to be something different. Like people have been putting out the same stuff for a while now, and
I think Watch Dogs will be that.
Yeah.
I don't entirely know what Watch Dogs is about yet, but I've heard it's going to be a big game.
Yeah, it's well, I don't know. Zach, did you wanna elaborate on it? I've been doing a little bit too much talking here.
I guess Watch Dogs is coming out May 27th. So the game's it's more like a third person view.
This is for just newer consoles, or is it coming out for PS3
I'm
and
not
Xbox?
really sure. It doesn't really say on here.
All right, you just talk about it all.
Okay. Well, it's published by Ubisoft and it's developed by Ubisoft Montreal, whatever that means.
Yeah.
So basically, it's like more of like a third person view, and like I guess you go through the city or something like that, and I guess you're trying to stop, like, I don't know if you're a terrorist or not. I don't know if that's the whole premise. I think you're trying to stop terrorist groups and stuff like that. But
you're not a police person.
No,
you're
you're
like a little like underground faction group yourself.
But it's more of like a spy type thing. Like from what I watched in the gameplay videos, like there was a guy who was walking and he was just in like this trench coat.
Yeah, it's set in Chicago.
Yeah, and he had to intercept this guy or like assassinate him or something. I watched a long time ago.
Basically what it is, it's like all these computers are connected through Chicago, and you have the ability. You're a hacker, so you hack. That's basically what you are. You're a hacker. So you hack the mainframe and stuff like that, and you learn about things going on in Chicago's like setting or whatever like that. So like bad crime, corrupt here and there. You know, you can stop things from happening since you have the ability to tap into cameras. You have the ability to tap into cell phones and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Like the I think the clip that I saw, the guy tapped into his cell phone and he found out, like, he was talking on the cell phone, like, where he was at, and then he like went through the subway and up to this intersection that he said he was coming up on, and then he hacked into the traffic lights and like changed it to red, or like they changed them both to green, so it was like a big crash.
Collision, yeah.
And then he
shit.
like went over to the car and like pulled the guy out, or like shot the guy, and then he was like in a gunfight in the middle of the road.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
So basically, he's using the city as his weapon, so he knows where everything is. So the whole premise behind it is that he was a brilliant hacker and a former thug, I guess. And so like then a tragedy happened that his family probably died from or something like that. So he's trying to figure out what happened and trying to find the people that made that happen.
Pretty standard,
okay.
standard
So,
game
like,
plot.
yeah,
Pretty
so
standard.
yeah.
It's coming out
It's
for
similar
both,
to Batman.
yeah, similar to Batman. It's coming out for both PlayStations,
It's
both
platforms, so
Xboxes.
PS3, PS4, Xbox 360, Xbox One, PC, Wii U.
Wow. You were like his echo right there.
Let's
Recap.
Zach there.
It's me.
Recap
It's
Zach.
Recap Zach. Brought to you by Bob Evans.
Brought to you by Recap Zach. But yeah, that sounds like a kind of like a different, maybe a little bit different style game.
Yeah. You know what's not a different style game, but I'm still pumped to play?
What?
The new Battlefront.
Oh, the new Battlefront.
Yeah. Have you guys heard anything about that?
Know about Battlefront.
When does it come out?
They're gonna. It's not. It doesn't have a release date yet, but they're gonna show something about it at
it just
the
PC,
next E3. There's not that much information out yet. They're gonna like release like either information or like a playable demo or just like a gameplay or something, like something more than the teaser that they showed at, I forget what they showed it at, but it was just like, you know, just, I don't know if either of you guys saw it, but it's like a snowy atmosphere, and then all of a sudden I think there was like a TIE fighter or something in there, but it was crazy.
Is that like-
Star Wars? You're
Yeah.
talking about Star? Okay.
Yeah, Battlefront
I was like,
3.
Oh.
Okay. Okay.
Oh,
No,
did
that
you
game
guys-
was sick.
Yeah.
I was thinking like Battlefield or something.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Like, but it's a form of, it's using the gen, right? For
The engine.
yeah.
I'm not sure. I honestly,
Frostbite or
there's
something like
not that much.
Well, I played the old Battlefront and it was pretty fun, but it was like that. Isn't
I mean,
it third person?
it's being
kinda?
made by DICE, who is the same people who make
Yeah, it's using the same engine.
Battlefield.
Then.
Oh, okay.
So I'm
Is it
assuming
Battlefront 3?
Yeah, Battlefront 3.
Yeah, that's gonna be a sick game. I always love Star Wars games.
Oh yeah, you can't go wrong with Star Wars. I mean,
Star Wars. Even the new movie that's coming out.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
gonna be
and-
great.
And
We've been talking
the
a lot
thing is,
about
I'm pretty sure EA signed a contract with Disney once they bought out Star Wars. You know, giving them like rights to make games, and you know, so there's going to be other games like, and they just did that. So you have to give it like 2 or 3 years, and then there's just going to be these sweet Star Wars games. Like,
Oh, yeah.
They were talking about another one that's like third person.
Well,
open
EA's
world.
always made Star Wars games.
Yeah.
Well, they've partnered with LucasArts.
Yeah, but I think they probably had to go through, because it's like, oh great, now Disney owns it, so we gotta
Yeah, these
go.
motherfuckers.
And who's developing? The people that are developing are made Dead Space. So
So it's gonna be scary. You know it's gonna be scary.
You know, it's gonna be scary.
yeah.
Misa Jaja Binks. No, yeah, but yeah, I mean that could be a different type of game. I think.
I mean, I think it'll be probably a lot of the same, but I think it's gonna be Star Wars, so it's gonna be like, all right, sweet, I want to play this.
Yeah.
Regardless
It's gonna be an
of what it
open
is.
world, right?
Oh, is it gonna be open world and
Yeah,
stuff?
that's what they're saying.
Because the old
Well,
Battlefront.
I don't think there's that much that is known about it.
Well,
to
no,
be
I'm
honest.
on GameSpot and they're interviewing the lead developer from Dead Space. That's going to be developing this game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I'm not
like,
gonna believe
he said-
anything
I
until
know,
I
I know.
see.
The old Battlefront was like it was kind of like Call of Duty, but then it was kind of like Dynasty Warriors,
Mhm.
like kind of like that.
Like Battlefield?
Yeah, just like just massive people on the map, and everybody's fighting, and there's AIs and there's real people.
That's sweet.
Kind of like Titanfall a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The AI and the real people mixed together.
Actually, speaking of Dynasty Warriors is 8, I think, or something. Dynasty Warriors 12 is supposed to come out for the 3DS, I think.
Oh, really?
The 3DS is having tons of games come out.
Dude, I'm
I feel
excited
like.
for the Smash Brothers. for
Oh,
3DS.
that's gonna be sick.
That's my game that I'm waiting for.
freaking Smash Brothers. When does that Smash Brothers game come out on 3DS?
I'm not sure, but I don't want to look up the release date because then I'll just be like, yeah, I want to play that right now.
All I
though.
want to do is play it.
Another game that Nintendo's gonna release is called Tamagotchi Life. Have you guys heard of this?
Tamagotchi
I
Life.
was that's on my topic list.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So do you
Oh,
want to
Tamagotchi.
expand on that a little bit?
No, you go ahead and expand on it because all I know is that there was something about people wanted to be able to have a gay relationship in Tamagotchi Life, and Nintendo came out and said no.
So yeah, and from what I understand about this game is it's kind of like a Second Life or something like that, but it's like where it allows players to hang out and start relationships in a weird, surreal, alternate universe habited by me characters.
Yeah.
Holy shit! I was looking at that too.
Yeah, and it's like I don't know. I mean, I don't know if Nintendo should be tapping into that.
Nintendo
So
is
this
like
is
the
this gonna be for the
dumbest.
Wii?
Yeah, I would
You're gonna be
assume so.
using your Wii controllers, your Wii Wii.
Wii.
Yeah,
People just
but
be
I don't know.
jerking off in Nintendo.
yeah. So there was a
4-year-olds
petition.
playing Nintendo Wii.
So there was a petition for every
Gay rights activists.
Yeah, they were like, well, what if we want to
What if
do
Mario
gay
wants to
marriage
touch
and stuff
Mario?
like that? And so Nintendo kind of gave this workaround response like, hey, well, these guys have been working on this code for a long time, so we don't want to go back, and we're like, we've already come too far now. When it's just like, I don't know that much about code, but I've written a fair amount of code, and I'm just like, if you just change a variable like, oh, men can now marry women and men. Like I don't think it takes that much because you can make them react the same way.
Yeah.
But it's just like instead of the sprite of the girl, change it to a sprite of a guy, or just make that combination possible.
You would think as a gaming company, like if somebody was asking for that and you're already struggling, you wouldn't want to alienate the gay community that wants to play your game.
But at the same time,
Wii.
Nintendo's always been that family-oriented, very homegrown, like roots type of like we're old-fashioned almost.
This is a Japanese Nintendo's Japanese, right?
Yeah.
Japanese.
Yeah. That's what they reference to. It's just like, well, our Japanese development team for the Japanese game they're just too far along and we just can't.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
It's
Take like
basically
2 seconds.
They're basically it's a polite way of saying
We're not gonna do this.
No, we're not. Gonna do it.
Yeah.
I think the online petition was called Me Quality.
Me quality.
So that was cute. But
Tamagotchi Life. It's so funny. Tamagotchi. That sounds like Tamagotchi.
yeah, it does. It does.
It's so funny. It sounds like Tamagotchi.
It's so funny. Speaking of funny, we can probably bring up a lot of stories here. Someone else want to go?
I got a story.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, today
Jim's like, you son of a bitch.
You piece of
I'm gonna
shit.
steal the thunder. All right, today I went after work. I went to go to work out with my trainer or whatever like that.
Jim has a
And-
funny work story too.
Okay, so we're outside because it's a beautiful day here, and where I work out at, it's has this huge long this long area to run and stuff like that. So but my trainer's like, watch out. He's like, don't run too far down there because there's a geese. There's a couple of geese over there.
Yeah, a couple geese.
A mom and dad geese guarding their nest.
Oh, jeez. And
so-
they're aggressive.
They're aggressive as shit, and I didn't think they were that aggressive. Okay,
Yeah.
so I was working out with this girl and my trainer, and so we were doing like a circuit type thing. So then I got to the part she ran first. She was fine,
Yeah.
and then I ran.
jeez.
And no, but listen, I didn't run that far down because I was like, I don't want to fuck with this geese. And then my trainer's like fucking yelling at me as I'm running back, and he's like, okay, the next time you go, you gotta run all the way down that way. I'm like, okay, I just don't want to get fucking attacked by the geese. And I was like, I know this. Every time I say something's gonna happen, it always ends up happening.
Yeah.
Just like the deer situation in my car when I was with Dre. I was like, what if a deer just pops out and this deer just pops out and hits my fucking car? And so I was like, okay. Then I got up the next time. Then I start sprinting down, and I go further and further, and this geese, the dad geese, is just staring at me. And starts waddling really fast and starts fucking flying at me. It starts chasing me.
Yeah.
It starts to run up this fucking hill and run down the hill, do around the tree and shit, and then fucking just leaves me alone finally. It's just squawking at me. It was probably the littlest.
How did you know it was the dad geese?
I didn't know.
it had that
It was
daddy
hanging
dick
dong. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. If
You could hear its dick just.
flapping.
his balls just hitting his chest while he's flying.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I don't know if the dad stays back and sits on the eggs while the mom goes out and hunts. I have no idea.
Because usually, like in the animal world, at least in the animal world, not in the human world, but
Well,
actually sometimes in the human world, but
well,
in the
like birds,
animal world,
I heard like penguins, like dad penguins lay on the eggs, and the mom goes out and gets food and stuff.
yeah,
like that.
usually the moms are the
Yeah, Morgan
killers,
Freeman
the
told us
hunters,
that.
and everything.
Yeah.
And like lions, the moms are the most female lions are the most aggressives. You just grabbed the wrong adapter.
You
for your
did.
iPad.
I just charged up 2 flights of stairs to get a charger for
You
my
almost
iPad. It's
fell
the
going
wrong
up these
charger.
stairs over here.
Yeah, I stumbled a bit, but it's all right.
No, so my funny story for the day too, I had a funny one today too. I went to pick up Chinese food for my department, and I went and got the Chinese food. And as I'm going to get the Chinese food, freaking Time Warner Cable, you sons of bitches, called me.
Calling you
they're-
out, Time Warner.
We're calling you out, you suckers.
This podcast is sponsored by.
Bye.
Sponsored by
AT&T.
Time Warner. Yeah. No, they freaking a collections agency actually called me and was like, "Hey, we're calling you." Well, first they freaking call you and they're like, "If this is James Anderson, if this is James, sorry.
Oh no!
No, your true identity.
my hidden identity. If this is James, press 1." And I was like, "Okay, 1."
James who?
And then they
James?
were like, "Please hold," and a fucking holding for I don't know
On your
who.
phone? I would have held my phone out the window.
If you hang up, we will charge you.
$5 for
No,
each hang up.
at this point I had no idea it was anybody. I thought it was a sales call. I was only holding to say, "Who is this? Take me off your freaking list."
Yeah.
Your call
And-
list, yeah.
Yeah. So they're like,
Oh, they
"This
didn't
is."
say this is Time Warner. They're just like, if this is James, press 1.
Yeah, that's all the thing said
almost-
when I answered.
you
my
almost
phone.
slipped.
And then you're just like, am I getting stalked? Like,
Yeah,
who is this?
who
Is this a company?
Yeah.
So I have
the
another story
person-
about. Go ahead.
The girls get on the the girl gets on the phone and she's like, "This is such and such company. Is this James? What's your address?" And I was like, "Well, who is this? Who are you?"
Yeah.
And she's like, "We're I don't know what the company is called." It's like, "This is Crystal something." And I was like, "So what do you and what do you do?"
Yeah.
And she's like, "We're a debt collector." And I was like, "Oh, okay. So you're like a collections agency." And she's like, "Yeah, we work for Time Warner Cable." And I was like, "Oh, really?" And they said I owed like $100 after I just finished and canceled Time Warner. And I even went to the building and was like, "Am I done? Have I paid everything? Am I done with you fuckers?" And they were
You
like,
said that
"Yeah."
exactly.
I was there with you.
Pretty much. Yeah, I'm sick of fucking Time Warner.
I was eating my
And so
Chipotle.
he was just eating Chipotle in the Time Warner building.
There's a burrito bowl too with chips. I was just like being a complete slob. Like,
You should
"Oh,
spill it all.
I dropped some barbacoa on the floor. I'm just gonna leave it
They're
there.
like, "Sir, do you have any business here?" He's like, "Oh, I'm with him."
No, I'm with him.
But anyway, so I'm like, "Oh, no, I don't owe them any money." And she was like, "Well, we can get Time Warner on the phone, 3-way call. Are you busy?" And I was like, I had like 4 boxes of Chinese in my hand and the phone on my shoulder and my ear.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fine. So let's do it. And so like I'm on the phone with Time Warner. I finally get back to the office. I'm still on the phone. I'm walking into the office with Chinese and the phone in my ear. And I'm like passing out Chinese food around the office. And I'm still talking to Time Warner on the phone. And I finally get it all cleared out. I didn't owe them as much money as they said I did. And I paid it all. And it was fine. And then it was time to go home. I got back from lunch with that Chinese food about 12:30 p.m. It was time to go home at 5 p.m. And I go out to my car and I'm like, "Oh, I forgot my keys." And so I walk back into my office and I was like, they weren't on my desk. And I was like, "Damn, where's
They're
my
in your
keys at?"
fucking car.
Time Warner came.
The Time Warner demon came.
The demon
And so
came.
I was like,
Oh my
"Dang,
God.
they must be in my car. I must have locked myself out of my car. Holy shit." So I go out to the car and as I get closer, I hear a car running. And I was like, "Oh my God." I left my car. It was unlocked, so I got in.
Holy
and my car
God.
was still running.
Holy.
For 4.5 hours, my car was just sitting in the parking lot with the keys on.
It's
and
like,
running.
hey, bro, I'm waiting for you.
Yeah, and I just got in and I texted my coworkers and I was like, "This is a real doozy. You're not gonna believe this."
This is real doozy.
Yeah.
Chauffeur that doesn't
And I
move.
just put it in reverse and drove home.
Oh my God.
I must have been like,
You
trying
drove
to-
home in reverse the whole way. What else could possibly go wrong today?
I wasted like a quarter tank of gas, but it was pretty good. I was like, "Wow, that could have been way worse."
That's insane, dude.
4.5 hours. That was pretty good.
What's the thing in your car that keeps track of your miles?
Odometer.
Odometer.
Odometer, yeah.
Odometer, yeah.
So when you're in reverse, does that reverse as well?
No.
Oh, dang.
Not-
I
not-
just had
not
an
anymore.
evil scheme.
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, did it
increases-
used to?
Yeah, like Ferris Bueller. days off.
Ferris Bueller.
Oh,
I
has
don't think
that
that
been
even
done?
ever happened in that time.
Because
I
I
think
was,
that was just a
I was
movie.
just gonna be saying
It's
like
probably a myth more than anything.
I was just gonna be
Yeah.
saying
I was just
like
gonna be saying you're wearing that bandana, right?
But it's like
like you could invent a mechanism to where you drive like in your garage, you drive up onto this platform, and then overnight it just slowly just rotates your wheels
Rewind.
back. So it's
It's just
like,
called the rewind.
well, technically I have about 400,000 miles on this car, but as you could see by my odometer, I only have 300.
300.
Well,
Yeah.
wow, that's against the law. But
Well, if you're
Yeah,
trying to
to
break the
change the
law,
odometer,
fellas,
yeah.
you
all
know
you
who
have
to
to do
call.
is everything's run by your computer now, so you just have to reset your computer in your car.
Well, that's against the law, so
Well, that's better than just sitting on a thing and having your tire rotate
no,
all
it's
night long.
not as creative.
Oh my god.
You
Well-
know what is pretty funny though. No,
Yeah.
you guys told both your funny stories.
No, I want to tell mine.
of real life,
No, you already told.
I want
them.
to tell another one.
and now I'm
That's
gonna
enough.
tell my story. That's
I
not
want
real
to tell
life.
another one, Dad. No.
Are you guys familiar with this game called Minecraft?
Oh, it's a game. Here we
Minecraft,
go.
yeah.
Oh, is it a news story or your story?
I just said it was my story.
Okay,
You're
well-
too busy over there just talking to yourself.
No, go.
All right. So, are you guys familiar with the country of Danish? The Danish country?
The Denmark
Yeah.
Denmark of the Danish.
of the Danish
The country of the Danish.
That was a quiz, and you guys passed. Thank you. So the Danish country of Denmark,
Yeah.
they recently, their government went through Minecraft and through like this geological
found terra cells.
program, and they completely built the geography
Of the town?
of
Like
no
the country?
of the country.
Holy shit!
Wow.
Yeah, and it was I think it was over like 4 billion like Minecraft blocks or something like that.
Wow.
4 trillion, sorry. Minecraft building blocks, and it was intended to be used for like educational purposes and stuff. Kind of
Yeah.
like almost like, I guess it's as close as you can get to like a simulator, like a super cheap
That's
simulator.
fucking
Yeah.
I think
insane.
the software that they had to use must have
That
been
would
like
take
crazy.
forever.
Well, I'm sure that all those measurements have already been taken. Like the topographical like information
Yeah.
is already there. It's just kind of more like a program that like just computes everything and places it.
I can't imagine there's no way that they had physical
People building this?
people in the game Minecraft and actually just block by block. Were they?
No,
There's
it
gotta be
was a
programs that do
program.
this.
Yeah, it was a
Okay.
program.
Can I just interject real quick? I just want to
Yeah.
know. There's so many people on Minecraft that build huge structures and crazy designs and stuff,
Mhm.
but those have to be a lot of those are done with programs. Those aren't just people in there.
Oh no,
single-handedly
I think those
building
are
them.
those are mostly done with people.
Really?
Yeah, I mean,
Wow.
this said that the model was created using geological map data,
Yeah.
but it doesn't say like a program. I'm assuming it's a program. I mean, if you have 4 trillion, what did they just buy everyone in the country copy of Minecraft and they're like, here,
help us build this.
yeah, just
Build your house.
yeah,
build your
yeah,
house.
build your house.
Yeah, like they had a lot of Minecraft players build.
Yeah, I wonder how
the
detailed it
government.
went. Like, did it go into the houses? I don't think it did. It probably just
No,
had like the
no, it didn't
outskirts
go
of
into
the
the
houses,
house.
or maybe it just removed all the houses
That's
and buildings.
insane,
and it was
though.
just like the
That's
actual.
awesome.
Okay, so obviously,
Back to your story.
yeah. So this map was built of Denmark, and it was supposed to be used for educational purposes, and then. Obviously, people found this and they
tore
got
it
into
down?
it.
Oh my
No,
God.
and they made the server so that you couldn't take dynamite into it. You couldn't take any TNT into it.
Yeah.
But what they did was they took a minecart in that was full of TNT, and then they got the TNT out once they got the minecart in, and so the
A mine cart?
So yeah, so
Like a cart in the game?
yeah, like a minecart. So like now this Denmark map, this server
They got
has
a
been
terrorist
hacked.
in Minecraft.
It has been most of it has just been completely blown up, and there's American flags everywhere.
Oh my God!
Yeah, I saw a picture.
We're
of it.
trolls.
Yeah, and it's just like and Denmark, the government of Denmark they're like, we consider that as a nature of playing Minecraft. Elements are broken down and new are being created. Therefore, we will not reboot the demonstration of Denmark in Minecraft, but occasionally we will rebuild minor areas if buildings are removed and nothing new is being created.
Yeah.
So like, but I feel like that's the best response that they can have, because if
Oh,
they were like,
yeah.
"Oh my God, what's
America."
going?" then they just do it more. But if
Yeah.
you just do it that, it's like if your goal was to troll, then yeah,
Not
you kind of
accomplished.
failed. You
Yeah.
kind of
Failed.
failed because they're
Fail.
just like, "Oh yeah,
Go
well,
back
we
and try
expected
again."
that," and that's fine.
Yeah.
As long as you build something new in its place. It's just like, no, I think what they're trying to do is they're just like, someone smart told them to say that, and then
Yeah.
once everyone's like, all right, screw this, then they'll
It's
probably
not worth it,
rebuild it,
yeah.
and they'll be like, all right, well, let's go about our business.
Yeah,
It's-
that's
yeah,
hilarious.
That's
yeah.
insane.
That was a
American
good.
flags.
That was definitely the right response, though, because any other response would have just the
Oh
people
my
would have been like,
God.
"Let's guard the Denmark part of Minecraft."
They start building like the Statue of Liberty in their town
Oh
hall
my
and
God.
stuff like that.
God,
Yeah,
that's
So-
pretty damn
insane.
hilarious.
So
though.
yeah, that was a pretty funny happenstance.
Freaking well, because Minecraft. I mean, somebody could build. Like, what did they? How does that happen? It was on a special server, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You know, it's the internet.
Yeah.
And you almost have to pay it that kind of courtesy where they're like, all right, we're going to build this and we're going to try to use it to the like professionally, but it's the internet and we're
Yeah.
putting it out there, so people are going to tear it apart to begin
Right.
with. Like you almost go into that expecting it. It's like you got to pay the fee of 1 week of internet trolls in your Minecraft server, and then as long as you react okay, then you can go about and do your business.
Right.
But yeah.
Fuck you.
It's like an unspoken rule, basically.
Yeah.
But
God, Danish Minecraft. I mean, 'cause you could technically build the whole Earth on Minecraft, and the Minecraft server, whatever loads there, is bigger than the Earth, isn't it?
yeah,
I
it's
mean, it would-
it's basically infinite until your computer just craps out on memory.
Oh,
okay,
gotcha.
Yeah.
That'd be sweet if they made like a space. Is there like a space section of Minecraft?
Oh, there's mods to go into space
That'd
and
be
stuff
sweet.
like that.
To have, like, a
That's
space
awesome.
station
Yeah,
and
you
stuff.
like collect resources and build a rocket, and then
Yeah,
you like go
yeah.
up into space. But
What?
it takes so much, and if you like go up, and if you don't do your ship correctly, it'll like crash and everything.
Explode.
What?
Yeah,
That's hilarious.
I wasted all that time. Now start a new game.
yeah.
Well, have you guys ever heard of the anime called Attack on Titan?
I think we've talked about that a little bit on the podcast before.
We probably have. It's. Have you ever heard of it, Zach?
If you probably talk about it more, maybe you'll come back to.
I
it.
watched a little bit of it, and I actually plan on watching more of it. It was pretty cool. It's actually about a futuristic world. I think it's a futuristic world where these Titans live on Earth, and they're basically just big, giant, naked aliens that are like they look like humans. They're big and they're naked. Big meaning like they're skyscraper people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then
Like
there's
giants,
yeah.
titans.
Yeah. And there's real people on the Earth, and they live like they live in hiding from these Titans, because all these Titans do is just eat people.
Holy
And,
shit.
and then they don't have any genitals or
Nothing?
poop holes or anything, so they just eat them, and then they throw them up.
They have no way to digest it. They just,
They have no way to digest
funny.
anything. So, but it's just about these people surviving. It's an anime, but apparently there's a game, an Attack on Titan 3DS game that's over in Japan and
Really?
stuff, and it may be coming to America.
That's
I read.
awesome.
And also, Adult Swim is starting to air English versions of the Attack on Titan anime. So I recommend going and watching it. I think all the Japanese episodes are on Netflix, and they're pretty cool. Once you get into it, like the subtitles.
Once you
like,
learn the
they're pretty
language, it's
easy.
pretty
Once
good.
you learn Japanese. No, I mean like the
Takes a couple weeks.
If you've ever watched something with subtitles, like halfway through it, if you're interested, like you pretty much just read the subtitles really easily.
Yeah.
But-
the one thing I don't like about subtitles is if there is an important part of the video that's on the top 1/3 of the screen, I'll probably never catch it. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm just like,
Yeah.
I'll watch the subtitles and in my peripherals, I can kind of see what's going on the screen. But if it's up at the very top or if it happens really fast, it's just like, I'm reading English. Hold on.
Usually when they film stuff though, it's not in the top third of the screen.
You never know. Could be that golden finch flying by.
Yeah, there's a little red herring they don't want you to see barely.
Important plot points.
But no, that's a cool thing I recommend, and I think that'd be exciting for your 3DS too, if Attack on Titan came.
What kind of game is it though?
I'm not exactly sure,
Hmm.
but I imagine it'd be cool. It's a pretty cool anime, so I don't understand why it wouldn't be a cool game. It sounds like a pretty cool story. You're just a human, and then there's fucking giants that want to eat you.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I was just wondering if it would be like a platformer or like I don't know, like an open world type. It's coming to the point where handheld games, they're not like restricted to what handheld games used to be. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, it's a handheld game, so it's a platformer, or
Yeah.
it's a puzzle game, or something
Yeah.
like that. Like handheld games can be 3D, and you can just walk around and like Borderlands 2.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They have for the PlayStation Vita and the PlayStation 4, their save data is getting ready to be transferable, so you can just
Yeah.
Oh,
play Borderlands
wow.
2 on your PlayStation Vita, get home, and start up your PS4, and
That's
there it is.
So you can just pick up right where you left off. So it's just like handheld. It's just like it's getting there to where
Well,
it's
even
just like,
even Windows, like they're trying to make games compatible for phones,
Yeah.
so you can like leave your Xbox and come back home, and your TV just turns on with the Xbox and everything, and you can start playing your game again.
Yeah, it's like, well, you need to be playing your game 24/7, so it's transferable everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, I gotta go to work. Well, I'll just transfer Borderlands over to my phone.
They're just trying to get all the people to talk like that. No, that's how it's gonna be when Hearthstone comes out for your phone,
It's
man.
gonna be
Oh,
insane.
dude,
I
can't wait
when
for
I have
that.
data
That's
plan,
sick.
or you know, you
I wonder
have
if they're
data
gonna
plan
have
on
it
your
like
phone.
a
Like,
portrait
Yeah.
style or landscape style.
it's gonna be really interesting to see how they, because coming from the PC to the tablet, it was a pretty obvious transition. Like you didn't have to. I mean, they changed some things for the touch, but now it's like not only is it touch, which you already figured out on the iPad, but now you have to like condense everything. Like if they just do what they have on the iPad, but just shrink it down to like, you know,
It'd be
a quarter
really
of the size.
small.
I don't think it would be very playable.
No.
I think they have to do something with the UI to just
It might be like select your card and then select a button and then it goes
Yeah.
out or whatever.
yeah.
It might not be as glitzy and like glamorous as like a PC game.
Well, I think it will be. I think they have to have the production quality is always going to be there for Blizzard, but I just think that I don't think you'll be able to see a lot of the elements on
like
the screen
animations
at the
and stuff
same
like
time.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think they can do animations and stuff. I just think they have to pick which section of the game screen that they're going to show you at which times. I mean, it's going to be, I don't know. It'll just
You
be
might
interesting
have to like
see.
cycle through your cards or something like that. Like I don't know, like swipe through them
Yeah,
to see them.
yeah. I don't know.
Be tough. Be a tough game.
It'll be a tough game,
But
but it'll be should be a fun
Should be a good one.
It should be a good one.
It should be a
good one.
We did we ever talk about that Fireside Friends card back that we got?
the one where we were all three on the same
Oh yeah,
plan?
the ones you two got and I didn't get.
Oh,
yeah.
sorry, Zach.
Yeah, you play Hearthstone all the time, don't
you
you?
Yeah,
played a
dude,
lot.
I'm getting
When was the
really
last time
mad.
you played Hearthstone?
I'm getting so angry right now.
Oh, you're getting angry?
I'm getting
When was the last time you played
You're turning
Hearthstone?
Do you want to know when the last time I played
Yeah.
Hearthstone? Over here.
Yeah, when we
Over
did
a year?
that.
Over here.
When we
Oh.
did
When
that.
I was over
Over
here.
a year ago.
Over a year ago. It wasn't even out
The
yet.
last time you played it was when we got those card backs, probably, wasn't it?
when you guys got those card backs.
And then you were like, I'm never playing again because I didn't get the card back.
And then no one will want to play
But here's the thing. Is,
Until I get a card back with a big dick on it, I'm not playing. I'm not trying to get any more.
yeah. They
Get
call
that-
you Big Daddy.
Big Daddy dicks.
Big Daddy. Here's the
What
big
were you saying?
thumper.
But so you got the card back, the Miss of Pandaria or the Pandarian card back, right, for getting ranked 20 last season.
Yeah, yeah.
They're planning to do one of those every single season, as well as, you know, these random ones like Fireside Gatherings, and there's a new one for the new adventure mode that's coming out. Like you get
yeah.
a new card back for that. It's getting to the point where it's like it's gonna be a lot of card backs pretty soon.
Oh yeah. Well, the ones that we got though are pretty generic. They look very similar to the regular card backs.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, big freaking whoop.
Yeah, well, it's noticeable enough that
Yeah.
when you go against an opponent, you see like
Yeah, you're
I
like,
mean,
oh shit.
yeah,
He's got those
it's
ones.
noticeable, but
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, and then when there's the legendary card back, where if you get to legendary rank, then you have that card back. But that's the only one that I think people are really proud to have. I think the
Yeah.
other two are maybe a little bit too easy right now.
Yeah,
to
they're
get,
pretty easy to get.
But
And you get a card back for playing with an iPad, don't you?
no, you get a pack of cards
You
for
get a
playing
pack
on the
of
iPad.
cards for playing with the iPad.
Yeah, the first game you
right.
play on your iPad, you get a pack of cards.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I can only imagine you leaning back in that chair as you're talking is just gonna be like you're fading out.
Whoa. Yeah.
But anyways, I think is it about that time?
It's about that time.
It's
to
about
end
that
the old
time
cast.
to end
My menstruation cycle is tingling.
ending.
Thanks for joining the listening to the Amateur Hour podcast.
Thank you. Thank you.
We're
truly
here every
appreciate
day,
it.
Every day,
noon to 5.
only Wednesday.
Check us out on Twitter at Jimmy Andy, at Blevishkin, and at MisterFantasmo. The Twitter names will be in the details below. Leave your questions and comments.
Good
Yeah.
night.
And in the next part,
Tickle.
we will be
What?
changing clothes.
We will be changing
on,
clothes.
on video. Are you gonna wear my clothes and I'm gonna wear your clothes?
Yeah, I think the next podcast we should all just change clothes.
Everybody change. Yeah, they're gonna be like, "Oh, I can't wait for the next podcast when they change clothes."
When we can't see it.
Make sure you turn in for the stream every Tuesdays and Thursdays, 7 p.m. to 11 p.m.
7 to 11,
7-Eleven.
just like the convenience.
24
of a
hours.
store. We need a good ending for this podcast. Here it comes. Are you guys
Here it comes.
ready?
Here it
On
comes.
3. Everyone is thinking of the same word, so we're
Yep.
going to say it. 3, 2,
2,
1.
Rotisserie
Rotisserie
chicken.
chicken.
Yeah.
Easy.